We'll take a look at that in just a little bit. Are you ready to get real estate ready? Top realtor Stacey Carnes, United Country Wilson Realty's in the studio to talk to us. Good morning, Stacey. How are you?
Good morning. Good. How are you?
I'm better.
Good.
Temperatures dropping, rain's falling. That means good news for my allergies.
I agree. 100%.
And that's good news for everybody.
Yes.
All right, I got a question. Actually, I have several questions for
Okay.
you. But number one is, somebody wants to buy a home. Where do they usually start looking?
Well, they usually start online as their first search. So that's why when people take pictures, they need to be good pictures. You need to have your house clean. Shocking.
Clean it up, people.
Right?
Clean it up.
So there's times where I've walked into a house and, I will give suggestions. Hey, let's do that. And I'll come back and take pictures. So we want to make sure it looks good. I don't want to just come in and take pictures because it's convenient, because we want your house to stand out. Right now, I pulled last week, there's like 164 houses on the market in Elk City.
Wow.
That's just in our area. So there's a lot to choose from. So your house needs to stand out in a good way.
Is that a high amount or is that average?
It's a high amount. Yeah.
Is there a lot of movement going on?
There is some movement, and then we have a lot of first-time home buyers that are buying, which is great. So this is a good time for buyers to be out there looking.
Okay, somebody wants to sell a home, all right? Let's say they've got one of these homes for sale. When the home is going to be shown, okay, they're going to show the home, the realtor is going to show the home to somebody. What do they need to do to it?
Well, again, clean. Clean is so important. Doesn't cost you anything. Declutter. I mean, you're going to pack up anyway to move. So I say go ahead and start packing things up. That's really the most important thing. Buyers have a really hard time visualizing when they go into a house. So it really needs to have a clean, crisp look.
So let them start from scratch. Mm-hmm. That way they don't have to undo the images of your socks on the floor.
That's exactly right. Because when we go to look at, say we're looking at 5+ houses a day, they'll start to run together. And we really want your house to stand out in a positive way, not as, oh my gosh, that was a house that had the terrible wallpaper, and then they're moving on.
Should the homeowner stay behind and be there when the home is being shown?
No, absolutely not. We love our homeowners, but you're usually attached to the home, and when you describe it, you start using, well, the kids and I, or we did this. Well, we don't want it to be your home anymore. So we need the buyer to visualize themselves in the home.
So it's important mentally, psychologically, for the person looking at the home to be able to walk in and imagine, okay, how will this be when I live here, when it's mine?
Yes, and that's why when they talk about pictures, to remove personal pictures, I'm not saying you need to remove everything, but if you have a gallery like all down your hallway, yes, we need to tone that down.
96.5 KECO is the early morning show. We're getting real estate ready with top realtor Stacey Carnes of United Country Wilson Realty. Her phone number is 821-4804, 821-4804. All right, let's move to payments. Somebody's got a home, and they're starting to struggle financially. Maybe they're getting behind on their payments. Should they just stop making payments and give up? Should they try to make reduced payments? What's the step for the person who's starting to get behind?
Well, if you feel like that you absolutely cannot keep up on the payments, you can go ahead and let's get the house on the market and let's try to sell it. So many people will get behind on payments and they'll just walk away from the house. Well, the one that really hurts your credit, you don't want that. Your credit follows you around everywhere. It affects everything. Interest rates on car loans, home insurance, car insurance, everything. So you need to protect your credit, most importantly. And then in the market in general, we don't want foreclosures because it brings values down. And also it's not real appealing to look at when it's sat there for 2 years.
Harder to move it.
Yeah.
So people do need, if that's the case and if that's the situation they're in, better to contact a realtor, get the thing on the market.
Yes. And if you're maybe just a couple months behind, contact your lender and see what they can do to restructure the loan. Maybe add one on the back, a payment on the back end.
Foreclosures, it is one of those things that does happen. And particularly when we saw probably back at about 2015 and early 16 after the oil market had dropped for a while.
Well, 14 was our highest year. So people bought really high in 14. Well, as we know, the oil field dropped in 15. So sadly, a lot of those people lost their job and they could not afford to make their payments and moved away. Well, we could have put those houses on the market and tried to sell them. even if we couldn't get what you owe on the house, we can try to do what's called a short sale with your lender.
Is that one of those? Is that one of those acts where people, especially if they've lost their job, things aren't going well anyway, and they think, "Oh, I just want to wash my hands of it and walk away and forget"? Is that the situation that homeowners get in?
I think so. I think they're just really stressed out. I mean, no one wants to lose their house, so let's try to help you not lose your house and save your credit, or get it sold, so then you can go buy another house when your job opportunities come back up.
I'm wondering, because the weather is starting to change a little bit right now. It's going to be cooler, a little moisture. It's finally fall, and it's going to start feeling like fall. I wonder if that puts people in a house buying mood.
I think it strikes them all year round. We do have busier times. Summertime is busier because people just have more time on their hands with kids out of school. But people really are buying all year round. We have investors that need to buy houses by the end of the year for tax purposes, and so you just never know.
164 homes on the market right now. Sounds like a good time to buy.
Yes. There's a lot to choose from.
And if people want to buy, if they want to take the first step, you contact Stacey Carnes, top realtor, United Country Wilson Realty. The phone number 821-4804. That's 821-4804. She will help you get real estate ready.
Yes, I will.
Stacey, thanks for coming in this morning.
Have a great day.
You too. We're 14 away from the top of the hour, 96.5 KECO.